really just enjoying each other's presence, God, and everything you have blessed us with, Lord. Thank you for safe travels, for another amazing Essence Festival. And Lord, I ask that you continue to bless our time together. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Yes. Well, we're back in New Orleans. This is so fun. So fun. And this is our second Taste of Texture dinner party. So glad to have you all here. My girl Gail is with us. And
Happy to be here.
We're
Amongst the greats.
Yes, the greats. And just so excited to really start these hair parties, to connect with each other. You know, there's so much happening in the world, so much happening in our lives. And, you know, it's just always good to be around good people, great energy, love, and also to celebrate each other, you know? And so, but I also came up with some questions. So are y'all down for that?
Yeah.
Questions.
We love a
You
good
know,
question.
I just like to know what y'all are thinking sometimes, you know? So yeah, these are our questions around hair, life in general. But this is a fun one actually I want to start with. What is your favorite thing about black hair?
Okay. The first thing that comes to mind for me is how malleable it is, or how it can take different forms, right? Like, I think that black hair is just one of the ones that, like, okay, you see it, you can see it, you know, the silk press, or you can see just an afro, or you can see locks, you see braids, you can see it just being woven, like, I saw, you know, so many people with, like, just hair, like, six straight up.
Right.
Just, like, one of the ones, it's like, it can just do anything. You can see it one day one way, and the next day, another whole thing. You're a completely different person. It changes you.
Yes,
you know? And
it
it's
transforms.
a way of expression.
Yeah.
How you feel?
I love that.
I would also add to say our resilience.
Yeah.
I say that our hair is very resilient, both symbolically and physically. Just because I think throughout history, we've kind of come to rise through our hair and showing off that, like, we are proud of our hair and our heritage. And also, I mean, a lot of us go through transformation, kind of going from damaged hair to then, like, proudly wearing our hair out big and bold. I feel like it's really just resilient overall.
That's beautiful.
It's a great word.
Yeah.
For me, I just love the energy that black hair exudes. You know, it gives women and just men, anybody really, just such a spirit of renewal and feeling beautiful and empowered and confident. So, you know when your hair is right, everything is right. So, you know, I love that about it. Very transformative.
Oliver, you cut your locks. What was the transformation from locks to short hair?
Yeah, I had locks for about 10 years, and and I probably bring them back. I mean, I'm debating. But it was just one of those things because I needed an energy change. Things in my life were changing, and it was just time, and it carries so much with you. So it's like I can't really move forward just holding on to them, and so it was very liberating to cut them. I miss them sometimes for sure. But again, it gave me a whole new renewed spirit and energy. So
That's amazing. Yeah, and we gotta talk more about that. I just love the journey. Cause if you remember your hair a certain phase of your life, you know what was going on at that time, right? I've had several hair changes because something was happening. I needed to make it known. So, okay, speaking of, this is actually a really great question. How much of your identity is tied to how you feel about your hair?
I'm gonna start. Oh,
yes,
go ahead.
No,
go ahead, Gail.
Okay.
Go ahead, Gail.
Y'all, 100%, like 100% of my identity is how I feel about my hair. There are people who have loved my hair where it's like, oh, I just love it. It's so long, it's so thick, it's so healthy, it's beautiful. And I will never forget when I was going through a situation, like a breakup. And I had this long little ponytail, right? And I never forget, I seen the guy out after we broke up for a while. And I seen him. I hadn't seen him for a while, and the damage was still there. Soon as I got home, my hair was in a ponytail. I had a hat on. I literally just cut it. I cut the hair that was. I cut my hair. I cut the hair that was hanging out of the hat, and I called my roommate. I was in college. I called her and I was like, because once I took the hat off and I pulled it down, I was like, I don't know. Wow. Yo, she came home. My roommate does hair. We were roommates in college. She does hair still. She came home and was like, what did you do? I was like, I saw. So my hair, every time I have a hair change, it's how I feel about my hair. My hair is 100% how I feel about myself, my life. When it comes to my career, you know, we're on a writer's strike. I have braids. I do not get braids during the season because when you audition, they only see you one way.
Right.
So they look at me a certain way. Literally, the only thing I ever booked when I had braids was Insecure.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Interesting.
Says-
It
Yes.
does.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you.
No, that was good.
That was
Your story beats my story for sure.
Cutting
Cutting out ponytails.
different.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay,
Different
so
stories.
I think that it plays a huge part of my identity because I do hair because I love hair. And even now in twist, I feel very confined and restrained because I'm used to my hair being big and loose and like this or this or this. So now I'm like, oh, I'm just so twisted right now. Oh my God, like what are we gonna do, Robin? And I went and shampooed it. It had product in it. I was like, ooh, product. And now I'm free tonight. I was like, girl, you better put that thing in a ponytail and try to get it together. A little jewelry happened. So, you know, but it's like whenever I'm super free, I'm in my natural state. Like it's easy, I can go, and then whenever I transform it into something that's permanent, I feel like I'm not liberated. So.
That's so interesting.
I think that idea of liberation is so interesting. Like when I think about my own journey with my hair, so I grew up in like a predominantly white area. So when you talk about like not accepting who you are, I think my hair led a big part of that, right? Where I remember coming and I would just always be in braids because I wanted my hair to be long, like all the other girls, right? And like, because when I had it in its natural form, I don't have a lot of memories of it back in its natural form because I felt like I just couldn't fit in, and I did that for such a long time until I entered corporate America. And even the first year of corporate America, I would either be in braids or just have it pulled back. And it wasn't until there was 2 black women who came to my company and they had their hair in twists, and I would go, oh, this is acceptable. You know, I can do this too. And like I did it, and I was like, I still have my job. But then, but then it was a journey of like, as I was accepting myself and my hair, my work got better. And like how I showed up to work got better because I had to learn how to stop taking what I thought other people would think about me. And I had that as the view of my hair. And when I could separate that out almost, I could accept who I am and show up to work how I want to. And it doesn't mean like I sit here today and I got it all figured out, because right, then you enter into a new stage, right? So then I go to business school, and it's that whole other journey again of like, do they accept me, do they not? And like having to just go through that again, and like it's almost with each stage you have to come back and be like, okay, it's not the same. I'm okay. I'm okay if I wear my hair how I want it to do. Yeah.
Wow.
I gotta tell a really quick story, y'all. So we just went to the White House for Juneteenth. They did a Juneteenth celebration. It was the very first one. And it's so crazy how we talk about how our hair identifies us. And I wanted to do something that we're in DC, that it's low maintenance. I don't have to do too much, maybe put a little spray. She did a swoop and a ponytail. Now I don't have sideburns, right? I don't do the whole baby hair situation. She gave me baby hair sideburns, and it was like a curl. And I said, I can't do this at the White House. They're gonna think I'm ghetto. Like, I can't. I swear, I sent my best friend Tia a picture, and I was like, girl, she put sideburn baby hairs. I said, I cannot show up to the White House with sideburn baby hairs. They're gonna think I'm ghetto. Like, I was like, no. And it's crazy because like you said, really our hair is our identity.
Yes.
So that's what we feel people identify us as.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I can't go in the White House. I was like, I already got a swoop. So I was like, we can't have a swoop and the sideburn baby hairs. Like if I'm Ashanti and I naturally have the baby hairs, love it. Let me love on it. But you're not gonna comb my side down. You're not gonna part my hair and
Silky, gel it, and swirl it.
Yes, because now I gotta fight the sweat and the atmosphere to try to make it. No, but it just made me sorry.
Yes. That was good.
Yes.
Wow. I have something real quick to say. Like yourself, I grew up around a lot of, I feel like a speck of pepper and salt.
Yeah.
You know? And a lot of times I felt acceptance from them. I looked for approval from them growing up. And at the time I had a high top fade. Didn't know how to take care of it. I was in high school.
Yeah.
And they would call it broccoli. They would call it,
wow.
they would fall out. They would be like, oh my gosh, look at your little like broccoli babies or whatever in coils and stuff. And at the time, I didn't really know how to defend myself.
Right.
I was just like laughing with them, trying to make light, trying to be accepted. And I think maybe 2 years ago, I cut it all off. And I was like, oh, whew, I look great. You know, and with a low cut that I have now. And like Gail, like after I went through some stuff earlier, I went blonde, and we were talking about that. And I was like, okay, I like it. I've always wanted to do it. It was a big, push after a long time of just like, I didn't get away from that. And I wanted to go blonde, and I did that. And it actually taught me that I like myself natural. That my natural color more than anything. If I go blonde, if y'all see me with a color again, don't say anything. It's because I wanted to do it. But at the end of the day, I realized that, okay, I can take my power back. And I don't have to succumb to limitations or thoughts of what people that aren't even my race have to say about my
Absolutely.
hair. And I just felt empowered by both of y'all just sharing that. And I just I had to say this. So that's just,
How did you feel? So earlier today, I saw him earlier at the My Ivana Hair Lab booth, right? And I was like, oh, he's so handsome. And I saw him again when he came in. And I said, you have amazing hair. I was like, you have really good hair. And it's so crazy that, like, we make this big deal about our hair, but it really is a big deal.
It's beautiful.
It's a huge deal. Not just to us, but to others. Like, we acknowledge when we see nice, happy, healthy hair. And when we see, we were talking about the blonde. I went to college with a girl who had blonde hair, and it was bad. And me and my friends used to be like, her hair looked like Brillo pad. So we notice it. We notice it, but others notice it too.
Yeah. And it's not. It's honestly, I'd rather it come from my people, if anything, than anyone else. If that it comes down to it. I'd rather let Candace be like, Corey, that ain't it.
And if you want to get your hot top back, friend. Because Bobby Brown then was rocking.
He was, exactly. And you know what we call it now? We created this phase. It's actually the title of our docuseries. It's called The Hair That Bonds Us.
Yes.
Because that's the bond we have. Like, I could see a stranger on the street and be like, yes, girl. Yes, twist out. Come on, twist out, right? Like, a complete stranger. It's just like, we just, it's how we kind of esteem ourselves, right? Or just, just connect. It's that bond. So I really love that. So we talked about like the beautiful sides, right? What about the more challenging sides, right? So what has been a hair challenge that you've overcome and how? And I'll start off because similar to what Gail was saying, I used to love to color my hair blonde. But let me tell y'all, I'm a natural dark, right? I was trying to lift my hair probably 7 levels in 10 levels, right? But it was all because someone made me mad. Like, I was like, you know what? But going back to the acceptance, because I feel like what we're all talking about is we just have a greater awareness of how our hair affects how we move in the world. Like, not wanting to bring the baby hairs into chaos, right? Like, we're like, oh, okay, we want a more we just have that really how we carry ourselves, right? But we have awareness of that. But that particular moment, I personally wanted to stand out more. Like I wanted to feel more bold. I wanted to be more bold. And I was mad, but I was kind of really mad at myself because I should have spoke up when I didn't. And I was just like, Candace, what will it take for you to speak up for yourself, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna color my hair blonde. That's what it's doing. But then, my hair was drying out because when you put color in, you gotta change your whole regimen. So then my hair was just a hot mess. But that was just an interesting. When I thought back, I'm like, man, I really, my emotions were all in it. Then it turned into a hair challenge, and then I wish I had my Ivana at the time. That's actually why I started my Ivana. Like, how do I fix my hair? So any hair challenges, any hair stories, you're just like, why did I do that?
Speaking of blonde, I always wore my hair really short before opening to groovy because, people really didn't know how to do hair. And so I would go blonde, red, or black. And during this time I was platinum. It was about maybe that long. And so my friend Dawn, she was a colorist. And she was really, really blonde. But she could take it because she wasn't really that melanated. And so I'm under the dryer. She rinsed off. And now my hair is the length of Corey's. Everything slid off. Everything slid off except for a nice little #1 guard. And she cried.
Did you cry?
No, actually, I'm an artist. I was like, I'm gonna rock this. And it turned out great, but she really cried a lot. She was so red. I was like, girl, don't worry about it. It grew back.
I was afraid you were gonna fight her.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I take my hair serious.
No. I almost fought somebody about a trim. And I was growing my hair out, but that day I had a lot of grace. But it slid completely off. And I was a full-fledged stylist. Like, I should have known better at that time. But, I would say this, in the industry, I would rather make mistakes on myself than my customer. That makes sense. So, kept y'all safe.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got my first relaxer when I was 4. So I didn't have, so I never saw my hair curly. I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know what my natural texture looked like. And so when I went to college, I decided to go natural because I was in full control of my own head. And I didn't have a lot of support in that process. None of my friends were natural. I was the first one in my friend group to do it. My parents were not supportive because obviously I was not requesting a relaxer at 4 years old. I requested
should I have a relaxer?
Not on my list.
Right.
Barbie and relaxer.
Exactly.
Right.
No, it was one of those things I did request. And with the swoop, But yeah, it was tough. Going natural was tough, and it was just a very introspective process. And it felt like a new coming of age, and I was so grateful to all the early YouTubers who were just starting to talk about the process.
Natural Chica.
Yes,
that
was so great. Those were my only people.
Right.
And I remember they would have this little chart that was when you first do your big chop, this is what it looks like in your first phase, and then when it gets a little longer and you kind of have a good taper.
Yes.
I remember looking at that chart and being I'm gonna get to the 4th picture one day. That grid, I'm gonna get there.
Wow, look
Celebrate.
at
That is such an accomplishment.
So fraudulent. I've literally been natural for over 20-something years.
Awesome.
I've never worn my hair just natural. I straighten it. I will do 2 braids before I just wear it out. I've always felt like it's not long enough to where it'd be like pretty natural.
We
Like
gotta
I'm like,
change
cause you know,
that.
shrinkage is real,
Shrinkage
and it's
is
like
real.
my hair is long, but shrinkage is real.
Yeah.
So I always look at people, and I'm like, oh, their hair's so big and beautiful, and like.
Yeah.
So and then I don't know the product. Like my hair is very thick, so it's like I wash it, I put deep conditioner on it, and it just it just sucks it up. It's literally like a sponge.
Yes.
And I'm like, your hair looks so healthy and well oiled and
Girl.
moisturized. Like,
Yeah.
your skin- like your hair is glowing. You're right. How can my hair glow?
Yeah, we got you.
Because when I straighten it, it glows. I'm like, oh, it's so it's
No,
so
your hair is
big and beautiful.
beautiful.
When you
Yes.
when I straighten my hair, I'm like, look at that hairline.
Yeah.
Oh, healthy. Oh, swinging out. So I feel like a fraud. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like you
I'm
put
like,
like a beautiful twist out.
Yeah.
I really do. Yeah.
Look, it's a process. Like I said, I went through all 4 of those boxes.
You said tapered. I was like,
yo, it was a process. Yeah, I had to start over.
okay.
But I was really excited about it because I could finally see a curl. It was
Yes.
short. It was shrunken. It did not have a lot of definition because I didn't know what I was doing yet. But it was mine.
Yeah.
Like there was
Yeah.
something
I
about
love
it being
that.
mine
Yeah.
that went a long way for me.
But what do you do after the first, like, I see curls, like, when I wash it, right, I'm like, oh my God, look how cute it is. I got the conditioner in it, curl galore. I'm like, look at this. I don't even know the number of the pattern. I'm like, yeah, it's curls. And then you rinse it out, like the first 10 minutes, it's still moist, it's still like curly. And then, as it dries, it's like, what it is, you know what I'm saying? So, where is Gail's kid?
Right.
Yes.
And I will tell you, Gail, like I love to stretch my hair just because I do want that look. Because similar to you actually, when I started out college, like my afro was a bit shorter. It's been thick my whole life, but it was a bit shorter, and I was constantly cutting it because so much of my hair was damaged. Like it was pretty much straight just from like swimming and heat damage. So I used to try everything to have my hair like that long look down my back, even though that was not smart because I really just broke my hair up to like here. So I really wasn't doing it good. But I feel like just taking the time to learn my hair and really stretching out. I always braid my hair like instantly. As soon as I'm out the shower, I braid my hair like to kind of pull it down so I can get this look. Because my hair too shrinks, but it's just the look that I want. I go for it, you know. So you can find that, you can achieve it. It just takes time. You have to spend time with your hair, just like you had to do, and just like you had to do. We all have to do that sometimes. Just
You
really
better bond with
Get
your
to-
I like that. Let me start talking to my hair like she a plant.
Wow, that's pretty much the
Absolutely.
Myline experience.
Exactly.
We cater to your personal hair journey. So, yes, it's going to be amazing. And everything y'all share was amazing. I feel like I know you all so much more. And I have so many things I want to connect more on. So, thank you for this really, really, really wonderful taste of texture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Yes. I know that should be our next
Toes.
a toes, right? Let's do a toes. Yes. Everyone got something? Hold on. All right, to us.